Ever wondered how much it costs to build a rocket that can actually, launch stuff into space? I mean, we see these incredible images, these majestic machines blasting off, defying gravity, and it all looks so expensive. But have you ever stopped to think about the actual price tag? We're not talking about a firework here, we're talking about a vehicle capable of escaping Earth's atmosphere. So, the question is, just how much does a rocket cost? That's what we're diving into today. We're going to break down the costs associated with building and launching a rocket, from the initial design and development to the final countdown and liftoff. It's a complex equation, with a lot of variables, but we'll try to simplify it as much as possible. And trust me, the numbers are going to blow your mind. First, let's clarify what we mean by rocket. Are we talking about a small-sounding rocket used for atmospheric research? Or are we talking about a massive heavy-lift vehicle capable of sending humans to the moon or Mars? Obviously, the size and capabilities of the rocket will drastically affect the cost. For this discussion, we'll focus primarily on rockets designed for orbital launches, the kind that can put satellites into orbit or send spacecraft on interplanetary missions. The biggest cost associated with rocket development is, unsurprisingly, research and development. Think about it. You're designing a machine that has to withstand incredible forces, extreme temperatures, and the vacuum of space. You're dealing with highly volatile propellants, complex engine systems, and intricate guidance and control mechanisms. All of this requires years of engineering, testing, and refinement. And that translates to a lot of money. Just to give you an idea, developing a new rocket engine can easily cost hundreds of millions, if not billions, of dollars. You have to design, build, and test prototypes, often multiple times, until you have a reliable and efficient engine. And that's just one component of the rocket. The overall development cost for a new launch vehicle can range from several billion to tens of billions of dollars. We're talking about government-level budgets here. Then there's the cost of materials. Rockets are made from specialized alloys, composites, and other high-tech materials that can withstand the extreme conditions of launch and spaceflight. These materials aren't cheap, and you need a lot of them to build a rocket. Consider the sheer size of some of these rockets. We're talking about structures that are taller than skyscrapers, requiring tons of metal and other materials. Manufacturing is another significant cost factor. Building a rocket is not like assembling a car. It requires highly specialized facilities, equipment, and skilled labor. You need engineers, technicians, and other experts who can work with these complex systems and ensure that everything is built to the highest standards. The precision required is immense. A tiny flaw can lead to catastrophic failure. Now, let's talk about the launch itself. Launching a rocket is not just a matter of pushing a button and hoping for the best. It involves a complex series of operations, from fueling the rocket to coordinating with air traffic control to tracking the rocket's trajectory. You need a launch site, which can be a very expensive piece of real estate, especially if it's located near the equator, which is ideal for orbital launches. You also need ground support equipment, including fueling systems, launch towers, and control centers. And then there's the cost of propellant. Rocket fuel is not your average gasoline. It's often a highly specialized and volatile mixture of chemicals, like liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen, that requires special handling and storage. And you need a lot of it. A large rocket can consume hundreds of tons of propellant in just a few minutes of flight. Another often overlooked cost is insurance. Launching a rocket is a risky business. Things can go wrong, and they sometimes do. Rockets can explode on the launch pad, they can malfunction during flight, or they can fail to reach their intended orbit. To protect against these risks, launch providers typically purchase insurance, which can be a significant expense. So, how much does it all add up to? It's tough to give an exact figure, as the cost varies depending on the size and complexity of the rocket, the launch provider, and other factors. However, we can talk about some ballpark figures. For a medium-sized rocket capable of putting a satellite into orbit, the cost of a single launch can easily range from tens of millions to hundreds of millions of dollars. For larger, more powerful rockets, the cost can be even higher, reaching into the billions. But there's a trend that's starting to change these numbers, and that's the rise of reusable rockets. Companies like SpaceX have pioneered the development of rockets that can land back on Earth after launch, allowing them to be refurbished and reused for multiple missions. This dramatically reduces the cost of each launch, as you don't have to build a new rocket every time. Reusable rockets are a game changer for the space industry. They're making space access more affordable, opening up new possibilities for scientific research, commercial ventures, and even human space exploration. While the initial development costs for reusable rockets are high, the long-term savings can be substantial. Now, you might be thinking, okay, these rockets are expensive. But who's paying for all this? Well, the answer is a combination of government agencies, private companies, and even individual investors. Governments often fund rocket development and launches for scientific research, national security, and space exploration. Private companies, on the other hand, might be launching satellites for communication, navigation, or Earth observation. And sometimes, wealthy individuals or private organizations will fund their own space missions. The cost of launching a rocket is a significant barrier to entry for many individuals and organizations. But as technology advances and reusable rockets become more common, the cost of space access is likely to decrease, making space more accessible to everyone. We may even see a future where space travel is as common as air travel. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.